Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Happy Country Sunday. Today, na Monday Country Sunday, number 5 day for this month of June 2023. My name na Capo Daniel, una own countryman, Mr. No Connie Lukong. Una welcome once more to our daily podcast, a program who will bring una the truth, will bring una important information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work for this journey to our freedom, to the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, today we wept as we see how our culture for the GCE board and the Anglo-Saxon educational system it don't go for inside water. Newspapers, television, FM radios, all over our territory, there are GCE questions that have been leaked on WhatsApp group by teachers for money. You can basically buy your way through GCE. Our system is gone. It's been destroyed. It has been polluted by the francophone corrupt system. Long ago, the GCE was the standard bearer. Families will line up across the territory behind radio to listen to the GCE exams. Names will be called and the quarter will erupt when children will hear their name as they have passed. 5 papers average, 7 papers, some with 10 papers. 7A was celebrated. You could tell who is a genius, who is not a genius. Students will study extra classes, holiday classes, burn the midnight candle just to go and sit and write down for the GCE examination. Today, everything is gone. There is no need to study. Even the result itself does not reflect who is a genius and who is not. Whether you take first or you take last, it doesn't matter. Anybody can buy GCE. Anglophone culture, Ambazonian culture have been destroyed to the core. Some of our Anglophone teachers have called me from ground zero and tell me, where are we going? Where is the future? It pains their heart to see our culture disappear, destroyed beyond recognition. Some of our children who have come back from La Republique after 4 years of running into exile, people can no longer recognize them. It is not even the Franco-Anglais that is being spoken today. It is something else. La République du Cameroon have been a curse on us and our people. The corruption, the pollution and virus have captured Ambazonia, and it is a cancer we must cure. We have no choice. We cannot live like this. We cannot accept this standard. We must fight to restore the standard of Ambazonia, the Anglo-Saxon standard. The stakes in this war is too high. The GCE board transferred to Yaoundé will eventually be taken over by the Francophones with the so-called special status that have granted somewhat of a so-called bilingualism, bilingual teachers to come over and take over the system. This is just a code word for Francophone. If you have been focusing on the military battle between Ambazonia and La République to look at where we are, you need to take a second look at our culture, our education, even our judiciary, to look at the decay of our institutions, our culture, and everything that made us unique, special, and that gave us hope for the future. Everything have been crushed by a beast that knows nothing better. A country of pourrier, a country of coupe de route. This is indeed what we are fighting against. This is indeed the reason why our people rose up in the first place to fight against the Francophonization, the taking over of our country, our culture, our language, our identity by La République du Cameroon. Fellow Ambazonians, as we continue to research and take note so that we can put the right calibration in our struggle that is going to fix this country of ours that is going to restore this country of ours and return the dignity of our people, the protection of our class and standard. We must continue to uphold ourselves as the people of the Ambas Bay, as the so-called Anglophones. We should never accept what it is as what ought to be. Fellow Ambazonians, our people have been our worst enemy. When you look in what is going on in Ambazonia, you say, oh my goodness, what have we done to ourselves? We have failed our people on every level, whether be it on ground zero or in the diaspora. We have failed you in every level. But it is not something to be sad about, because when our people were captured by La Republique, all those who were leaders were killed, murdered. Those who were corrupted, like Atanjipo, were elevated. Our people are like a sheep without a shepherd. Cow wey no get tail. Our people have been used, misused, exploited by their very own. And it is something we must recognize. When we started this struggle in 2016, it was the stirring of the pot that every Ambazonian stood up, and all we knew was enough is enough. We cannot take it anymore. We want out. Nobody recruited anybody. Nobody trained anybody. But everybody knew one thing. It is time to rise up and say enough is enough with La Republique du Cameroon. Enough is enough with their marginalization. Enough is enough with their barbaric treatment, corrupt way. Today, the vast majority of our people ask themselves, what has this our struggle become? What has this our struggle become? And every time I come up to speak, I'm forced to go back to our history and bring out our dirty linen. And somebody will ask me why. The reason is because I cannot allow our people to be blindsided. Because when you are blindsided, you are in the biggest risk. When you are in a vehicle that have lost its brakes, no matter how smooth it is going, you are in danger. When you take a vehicle that has no spare tire, that has a time bomb in the engine, and to embark in a journey in the desert, no matter how convenient it leaves the station, the mechanic will have no peace when he knows that this vehicle will not arrive in its destination. A good driver, a good motorboy will stop you and say, let's go back. Let us not go until we fix this thing. You have heard blackmail upon blackmail, and one may wonder why all the blackmail against Capo Daniel? Why all the lies from one thing to the other? Yesterday, it was Horace, who used to be my assistant, who came up on Facebook. I know they have been saying by Dr. Cho Ayaba because I used to be in that same group and I know how they operate. Horace came out to say that Capo Daniel was actually not an egg of C member. Fellow Ambazonian, we must recognize the failure and shortcoming of these organizations that we had beheld to think that they will help us to attain our goal. If they can call Capo Daniel that he is not a member of that group, he was not a member. And it's the same thing they did to Tapang Ivor. When he stepped down, Dr. Chuayaba also said he was not a member of the ADF. This is to tell you that these are just a group of people who are pretending to be an organization. They claim to have employed me. How can you employ? Do they even know the difference between employing and volunteering ourselves to serve our country through the various groups? But this should be hope for Ambazonia. Because if you did not see this thing today, God forbid, you could have been in a pit tomorrow. These are people who promise you a better Ambazonia that is better than La Republique. But their conduct of today is worse than that of the enemy. The murder, the killing of our own people by them. And this should not discourage any Ambazonia, but it should open your eye. More and more ADF soldiers are coming to say things that they would have never said, but it was in their heart. The wonderful attack we celebrated by the Alpha group of the Bamenda Brigade, that same team have come out to say the same people in the Egg of Sea saying Commander Forrest to kill the commander of the ADF who carried out this attack because they thought he was not loyal enough. They must replace him by deleting him. So the scheme, and that soldier who was sent is today dead. No wonder you will not see their own soldiers calling their name when it matters. The few time you had the operation that was carried out by an ADF unit that called Dr. Chuayaba's name, which we call them the presidential squad. How much money do we spend? About 20 million. We buy weapons, they carry one operation, carry the weapon and give it to another camp and disappeared because they know how wicked we are in that group, or that group is. Yesterday, the same General Ivor's group, his closest friends who have abandoned the war today and they have become specialists in dealing in arms. They are also talking that Capo Daniel will listen to your podcast, and I want you to know that one of the reasons that we suspected General Ivor was killed was that he sent 500,000 to the so-called AMF to buy uniform. He donated 500,000 that same week where he died. All these accusations are not coming from outsider. They are coming from your own people. Because as you treat me, it shows how you have been treating other people. Yesterday, the picture of my beautiful wife and myself was put up by the Ague of Sea members with a cross on my head and a receipt that they send money to me. It means that Capo Daniel is corrupt. Oh, what a shame. If a so-called organization, they approve that somebody is corrupt, it's a receipt of money transferred to that person, that standard shows you how low they have become and how desperate they have become to destroy Capo Daniel. For what? Is it even possible for them to destroy Capo Daniel? You destroy your own self when you attack an innocent person to cover up your mistakes. Every single dollar, penny that have ever been sent to me have been used for that purpose. I have never, ever been accused of corruption all my life. I have been using my own personal money. At least I set aside a specific amount of money every month to use for my country and for this struggle. I have donated money for hospital bills in the prison, at least 600,000. I have bought on record, the ones that have their receipts, over 18 mobile phones in Ground Zero from my own pocket. I took personal risk, travel abroad to go and look for mechanism for the detonation of our IEDs on Ground Zero. I take that risk with my own self, provide those equipments. But in their own wisdom, the ADF soldiers took those weapons and gave it to Grandpa Bali and to other fighters, and even sell some and supply some even in Ground 1 for sale. Because perhaps in their wisdom, they know that that glory should not come to you. Because you are evil. A person who kills someone who have worked for him so hard, or raised them that hard like myself, is a murderer, is a wicked man. I will not overburden you, my people, with their evil, because it is clear for everybody to see. But you should thank God that for the purpose of God, you know it now. And don't be discouraged. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Just give us time. There have been people who have called me, Capo Daniel, set up an organization. Let us put money in it. And I want to thank those who have sent money for me to eat in response to these blackmails. And I want our people to know that I am not somebody with inferiority complex who will rush to carry people who are loyal to them and surround themselves so that they can present themselves as somebody who have many people. The nation is behind me, and I know. And those people within the forces and various organizations that have reached out, all the organizations of Ambazonia are standing behind me. So do not worry. Within a specific period of time, after consultation have been done and completed with the international community, because that within Ambazonia have been completed, I will come to you with a comprehensive statement on how we will move forward with our struggle to free our people. Because we cannot continue like this. It is not possible for us to win. Our current format is a recipe for complete failure. What they don't want you to know is what I will repeat again to you, which is the reason why they are blackmailing me. We have lost the biggest opportunity we have to free our people and had La République du Cameroon examine the root causes of our issue with the international community presence. We didn't lost it because La République du Cameroon was acting in bad faith. We know they are a bad faith actor, but we had them in our claws. The international community had them in the place where they wanted them to be. It was Ambazonia who destroyed that opportunity. And as they will try to cover up, to blackmail, I will repeat the story for you to hear and hear me very clearly. Dr. Cho Ayaba, because I will not go back to explain step by step, which I may do in the future, called me when I was back in Hong Kong and say, DDC spokes. The Canadian, they talk say, we'll go get that meeting, we'll get the conference for the ceasefire first before we make the announcement. And then the vice president, he and the NSA, that Jezebel, they talk say, no, they need to make the announcement first. I want to clarify with you again. I tell you, say, Mr. President, I want to repeat for you what you have done tell you. I've been a designated member for that committee. Even though we come up for Canada, I want to carry to Hong Kong, they don't hurry, call cabinet meeting. For make cabinet meeting mad, me then give false report or twisted report one no day. And the president he hand be there for all those organizations them. Because when I be calling, ask you say why they would make meeting for give report for cabinet, I know they way na me I be the main person who will present our plan for ceasefire, and na me I be the designated person for the committee. He say no, na vice president. But that one is small. But we need to get all this background. I don't come out, will come for Hong Kong, they don't hold meeting one no day. I say I need to talk for the other cabinet member. They say no, don't talk for them. Some people then they for the way they know, then don't they for they will don't keep them, never keep them. We know what I mean, then be confused. Just wait. Be patient. For 3 months, I waited. Anyway, make I not over digress. Me way I did for inside the committee designated person by the team of Ambazonia. I get a call from other organization, Capo Daniel. They have created a committee for ceasefire and you are not there. And we're counting on you because you are the one who did our presentation. Why are you not there? I was shocked alive. I asked Dr. Cho Ayaba, he said, oh, no. Now the vice president may make all the things. Just hold on, Capo, just hold on. So he asked me, and I told him, Dr. Cho, this is a red line. The president of La République du Cameroon have made it clear to us and to the Canadians that for this thing to work, for the hardliners in the regime and the people who are against this war, for him to be able to control them and get everybody behind this thing so that we can actually have this negotiation to go on, the real negotiation to happen. We must, first of all, complete the arrangement for ceasefire. And it was reasonable because how can you be declaring about ceasefire when you have not yet established the modalities on how the ceasefire is going to be, to set up mechanism for the ceasefire, report mechanism of violation and all those things. So how can you be announcing it in the first place? So the Canadians themselves were of the same opinion like La République. We need to sit down and work out the details before an announcement is made. So they were having this fight that lasted for almost a week until the deadline came and passed. That no, they must first go announce them. Because they know already that La République have set a red line that if they announce it, they will withdraw from that commitment for negotiation. And how did they know? I told them repeatedly. They keep on coming back. Hey, Capo Daniel, you know, sure, so you be here differently. Hey, you know, I said, they don't talk, you want me to explain on how? La République don't talk, say they no fit go to make announcement where they nobody yet first work out the details for ceasefire. Because they know the trust when they believe so when I want to take this thing and get social media fame say when I make a La République dan last can't talk for Canada. And if when I go ahead for make the announcement without arranging the modalities for ceasefire, they will withdraw themselves and say there will nothing ever happen. And I told you repeatedly, the Canadians told you, the other international partners told you, everybody told you, and some were even crying and calling Capo Daniel, beg Dr. Cho Ayaba. You go and you convince, deceive the other leaders, drag them as we always do our connie there, for them to go ahead and put pressure for the Canadians to make announcement when we have not yet worked out the modalities of the confidence building measure. That is the problem that made La République to withdraw from this historic commitment and victory that we had. And it was because of one man decision. Dr. Cho Ayaba against advice. And it wasn't just a mistake. It was on purpose. Because in our internal meeting, the cabinet behind the cabinet, people who actually run the show, me, Dr. Cho, the vice, Dr. Nyi, Benedikwa, we had the meeting and they were telling me that there is no need even for ceasefire. I thought that, are you people really mad? When it is our people dying, they are fighting in our land. And this opportunity, the world have told us we have just a small window. It is not something that can last for a long time. If we don't seize the opportunity now, they have guaranteed us that they will not be able to rally the 5 big countries in the world to support us. They make that clear. And we have lost that opportunity. What has happened? The same thing have happened. La République have withdrawn. The international community have even gone back to start negotiating with La République to uplift sanction. If it was not my resignation that gave the international community that maybe these people are not really power mongers or war mongers. At the time, you are claiming in a meeting, our private meeting, no, we are winning. We cannot be going into ceasefire when we are winning. Ceasefire, that it is the enemy giving you ceasefire. We are what winning? You are believing even my own propaganda because I am the master of Ambazonia propaganda. You are believing my own propaganda that we are winning. You don't even know what is going on ground zero. You don't even know how many of your own soldiers I, Capo Daniel, am fighting and protecting to give them hope so that they should just hang in there and sustain this fight. I have to come and say all these things because I will not allow you people to blindfold our people. It will never happen. If you people think I was there to work for you, as Houris have put out on social media, you are deconstructing and showing how empty that organization is by your own self. So nobody is actually a member there. No Ambazonia. It is just your group, you and your few friends. As Houris have testified, you think that you are attacking Daniel, you are actually destroying yourself. So our people, all Ambazonians across the world, hear me and hear me very well. These people have failed you and they want to lead you where the sanction that the Americans have given on Dr. Cho Ayaba, it will end up coming on all of the struggle and our people will have no hope. We will become a captured people if we go the way we are going. We must now realize the new dynamic in the international community, post this Canadian stuff and readjust ourselves accordingly. Otherwise, we will face a total loss. This I guarantee you. No matter what victory we have on social media and on the battlefield, it really do not amount to most if our international capital that we had, which was a posture of the international community against La République, have changed. If we will have freedom, we will not have a defeatist mentality, but we will be able to absorb this type of analysis, knowing that we have to, it's a wake-up call for us to do things differently and for us to accept that we have to do things differently. We must change our posture. We must listen to what the international community is saying. We must listen to sound advice. If we remain in a vegetative state like we are today, we are doomed for failure. And I will not allow that to happen. I will never ever allow that to happen. You people should know that. On the blood of General Talk and Do, the blood of General Mba Ivor, Captain Small Pikin, and all those who have died in my hands, Colonel Bruta, that I recruited from Bechati, the iconic ADF fighter, and all those who have given their life and our population who have sacrificed the most, I will not allow it to happen like that. I have taken responsibility. I have replaced Dr. Cho Ayaba as the leader of our war of liberation, and I will decide with you by the power and authority that have come to me as a result of me carrying that primary responsibility in everything that have guided us to today and keep this struggle alive. Be it the policy for education, be it the defense of our liberation struggle abroad, be it the defense of our community, the coherence between bringing our soldiers together with our population, and it will be like that. That is the only way we have. I will be honest with you and I will tell you the truth and I will tell you what we need to do and what we have to do. As I have told you, thanks to God and the prayer of our people, I'm having this engagement with the European community to listen to them and tell them and look and assess if there is hope that these people can help us. If the same egg of sea who were telling you rely on international report that called them hardline. The the World Bank report, they were pointing to the Americans, the statement of the American against Paul Biya that said that the ambassador of America who condemned Cameroon and Paul Biya to say that they are committing crimes in Ambazonia, targeted killing. The same American, not the ambassador, but the boss of the ambassador, Anthony Blinken, have sanctioned Dr. Cho Ayaba. If you are not a Zamzam, you think that the word of the ambassador will incriminate Paul Biya and destroy La Republique and Paul Biya, what will you think will happen with Dr. Cho? This basket is gone. We will not put our eggs in a broken basket. It is gone. There is no hope for Dr. Cho Ayaba. That is why you see the desperation of him and the few people who reshare his pictures and write-ups online. I'm not saying this as any personal attack to him. I'm just telling you the truth. Even if I pretend that everything is good, it will not still help us. The damage we have had for our struggle from the Canada pre-talks have taken this struggle back to square one. I'm not lying you. I'm just telling you the honest truth. We are back in 7 years ago. We must assess ourselves if we are unable to win La Republique or not. If we are going to lose this war, we must prepare for loss. If we are going to win, we must prepare for win. Can we win? Yes. Can we lose? Yes. We must accept this reality. Otherwise, we have become deranged. There are some people who are actually deranged in this struggle. We should know that. Sanity must be restored. Sound mind and clear logic must apply for us to go forward. The time for play and games are over. And my people, if at one point you have been isolated and put in the background because of this, their stupidity you are seeing as they are doing against Capo Daniel, the time for you to come back to join all of us Ambazonians. Whether you call yourself Ambazonians, Anglophones, or Southern Cameroonians across the globe, it is now time for us to come together back as we were when we started rising up in 2016 to demand for justice and to demand for the preservation of our identity and to demand ultimately for our independence. It is now time for you to come back home. Come back home and let us finish this struggle in the right way. We shall prevail. The truth and only the truth shall set you free, nothing else. And indeed, you shall be free. It is written and it is ordained. Darkness shall not deliver you from darkness. Light, truth, honesty shall prevail. Capo Daniel, signing off, looking out for you.